In 1973, a passenger plane over the Ivory Coast collided with something in the sky at an altitude of roughly 11,300 meters. The investigation revealed the cause: a bird. Not a missile, not another aircraft. An ordinary bird flying at an altitude most commercial airliners cruise at. The bird was a Rüppell's Griffon vulture, and this incident is still considered the highest documented flight altitude for a bird in history. For comparison, the summit of Everest sits at about 8,800 meters, meaning this bird was flying more than 2,500 meters higher than Everest's peak. Here's the important comparison. At that altitude, oxygen pressure drops to less than 10% of what it is at sea level. Human pilots need a pressurized cabin and supplemental oxygen just to breathe normally above roughly 3,000 meters. Yet this vulture flies without any external assistance at an altitude nearly 4 times that height. The reason? Its blood contains a special type of hemoglobin with a much higher affinity for oxygen compared to other bird species, allowing its cells to keep functioning even under severe oxygen scarcity. In other words, humans solve the altitude problem with external tools, pressurized cabins, oxygen masks, while this bird solved it through an internal adjustment in the composition of its own blood. The difference isn't just in the number, it's in the entire approach to the solution. This record altitude isn't everyday behavior. Most of these vultures' flights happen at much lower altitudes, between 3,000 and 6,000 meters, while searching for carrion across vast distances. The 1973 incident was likely exceptional, linked to powerful updrafts that helped the bird reach that rare altitude. So the most striking record in the world of flight doesn't belong to an aircraft. It belongs to a bird with blood chemically different from every other bird's. If you've ever seen a bird flying at an unusually high altitude and it struck you as oddly distant, tell me where that was and what kind of bird it was.